All right, so I think most people in some capacity know that detaching yourself from outcome is an incredibly important thing in relationships, and that if you can do this the right way, it can actually help you position yourself to the point where the other person could actually chase you. So let's go ahead and talk about detachment, how to do it, and how it can actually make someone else chase you. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. So today we're talking about detachment. You may have heard about this from me. Cool, that's great if you did. Or you may have heard about this from perhaps some other channel on the internet. Maybe maybe one that's talking about mind games, talking about whoever cares the least controls the relationship. You gotta make it seem like you don't care. You gotta play hard to get. All these mind games that a lot of people have going on with them. And one of the big problems with this, of course, is that it positions you in a sense where you're actually very attached to outcome, but you're just pretending that you're not. So many times people have this perception, this belief, that if they just try to make it seem as if they're doing the things that someone would do if they were detached from outcome, then it must mean that they're detached from outcome. It's I don't know if they have this everywhere, but back when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, back in 2007 and 2008, there was this phrase that we had called a 30K millionaire. I don't know if they do this everywhere, but it's someone who makes about $30,000 a year, but they spend so much, they rack up so much debt and everything, trying to get these like expensive things to make it seem like they're a millionaire. So they might have some car that they can't afford, a bunch of designer clothes and stuff that they can't afford, a bunch of fancy hoity-toity whatever that they might not be able to afford, and they're doing it so they can put out this perception of being a millionaire, but they really only make $30,000 a year. Or maybe with inflation, I don't know, $40,000, $50,000 a year. That's kind of what a lot of people are doing, is they're saying like, okay, well, what if I just, don't text them for, 8 hours or something. That way they think I'm detached from outcome, even though the whole time I'm just constantly hitting refresh, checking to see if they sent me a message, checking to see if they sent me something, checking to see if there's some kind of update or whatever. But really there's nothing that you got there. And so what you want to do is recognize that it's not the externals that make the internal, just as it's not, having a car that you can't afford and clothes that you can't afford and everything else that you can't afford that makes you a millionaire. Actually having $1 million makes you a millionaire. I know, shocking, right? But that's what I'm asking you to do on like energetic relationship level, is if you want to be detached, be detached. Don't just do the things that someone would do if they were detached. Don't play hard to get. Don't play mind games. Don't do all this other stuff, right? And so what we want to do is we want to look at what it takes to create detachment in your life. By the way, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have ever heard the phrase 30K millionaire before. Maybe it's just something that they say in Arizona. I don't know. And by the way, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon while you're down there doing all that. It does help us out with the channel. But what we want to talk about when it comes to how to detach is to look at where we actually are attached and start to work through that and start to let go of those sorts of attachments that we might have. Like, there might be a part of you that says like, hey, like I'm really worried that if I can't make this relationship work, that it means that I'm unworthy of love, or that it means that hey, I've only got a certain window in which I can get this relationship thing figured out. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to get married or have kids or something like that, right? Just so you know, there's always options. But when you start to look through this and start to get clear about what your fear is, and sit with it and embrace it and come to peace with it, much like how I said the other day when I was telling you about all the like crazy stuff that's been going on in my life for the past 6 months or so, with like my mom's health stuff, the stroke, the heart attack, the everything else, not to mention everything that's been going on in my own personal life. That's what I had to go through. I had to go through this process of letting go. Again, not as an act of giving up or surrender, but as an act of being at peace with it. Okay? And so that's what I really want you to learn how to do, is to do stuff like that. Because that's truly what's going to make someone actually want to chase after you, is if you have this authentic sense of knowing who you are, knowing what your life is about, knowing that you're going to be able to handle it no matter what, knowing that everything is going to be okay somehow, and that all you have to do is just bring yourself into alignment with love, and you will eventually get the love that you're looking for. If you can position yourself in a way where you're able to do that, then that's going to be very attractive. And again, this is not a game of trying to create the externals to trick everyone into thinking that you actually have that going on if you don't. You have to genuinely and authentically do this. So, you're not going to be able to do this by playing mind games. You're not going to be able to do this by playing hard to get. You're not going to be able to do this by looking to someone else for validation. You have to learn how to do some things yourself to create trust within yourself, to create meaning within yourself, to create groundedness within yourself. And a lot of this has to do with the things I've been talking about in the recent several videos. This also has to do with really working on your emotional world deep inside. That's why we do, of course, have our course called Emotional Freedom over at modernlove.life/EF. Check it out if you're curious about it. Of course, if it seems like the right thing for you, we'd love to have you inside. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, there's a link down below. And if you do want to work on your emotional world, if you do want to work on creating that deep sense of groundedness within you that's going to allow you to be reliant on yourself rather than other people, that's going to allow you to create genuine, organic, authentic relationships and connections with people rather than emotionally unavailable ones, rebound relationships, attracting the same person in a different body like a narcissist or something like that, narcissist after narcissist after narcissist, etc. Then this is how you're going to do it. Okay, this is what I would really recommend for you to help you do that. Anyway, with that being said, thanks so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.